So thanks for joining us, folks. We're just getting ready to cross the street to go to McKeldin Square, where there is a Shut It Down rally against police brutality. We got here a little bit earlier because we went to the mall to go to the food court to get something to eat, and we were actually asked to leave the mall. They closed the mall down, which is across the street, because they were scared, I guess, of the protest crowd. You can see it's not a small group, but it's not a massive group. And there is a large police and military presence here. So once again, they've closed down a lot of stores and things like that in anticipation of protesters, and then they're blaming it on protesters. Go ahead. Hey, Sekou. How are you?
Good. What's up with your baby? Y'all alright?
As good as can be. I've been here since Tuesday. They're really overdoing it. Oh my god. I've never seen such a show before. It's like...
Oh no, I was on, what's the name of that, on Penn and North today?
That's nothing.
I was just like, and that's what they're telling me, that was scaled back.
That's amazing.
But you know, that was
I'm just gonna move through. I wanted to give you guys an angle, a higher angle, so you could see how many people were here. You can see the police have definitely showed up in force. They were here in the square, shutting everything down, and we're here with the National Guard, and they were here with zips and ready for arrest. We got here about an hour and a half beforehand, so this is not near the number of police there actually are. They're like kind of hiding all over. They're on bridges. You can see them up here. The police down here. There's a van. So they just wanted to let protesters know they were here. Can I get through here, guys? Sorry.
Torture and murder that ignited us. That was the role that Freddie Gray played. But this happens all the time. If you're black and brown and young, in Baltimore, in Philadelphia, in New York, in Ferguson, in Oakland, it happens all the time. This is widespread and systemic. We're talking about...
Can I get through here, guys? Sorry.
Against black and brown youth.
Excuse me.
The latest victim. But he did not die in vain. If there's a heaven, I hope he's looking at us, so he knows that he did not die in vain, because his vicious murder ignited the Black Lives Matter movement again. And it spread beyond the borders of Baltimore. And no mobilization of police, and no National Guard, and no Marines, or whatever hell they're going to send out to occupy the streets is going to keep us silent or keep us down. I also want to wish everybody a happy May Day, International Workers' Day.
Do you mind if I slide there?
The only thing I'll say about
Are you
that,
okay with me being right here?
some of you know about May Day, others of you don't. That's okay. It's a day when working people all around the world celebrate their struggle against exploitation and oppression. Celebrate their struggle for a decent wage, for 15 in a union. And it's a global day of worker solidarity. But the PPA, the People's Power Assembly, and other groups put out the message that May Day 2015 would be a perfect occasion for the Black Lives Matter movement and the labor movement and all progressive people to come out and say justice for Freddie Gray, justice for Baltimore. Because these youth who are targeted, I'm sorry you're wrong, President Obama. I'm sorry you're wrong, Madam Mayor. They are not thugs. They are not thugs. As a matter of fact, this week, they were pretty heroic. They carried a lot on their back. And if it wasn't for them, the media wouldn't be here. The eyes of the planet wouldn't be on Baltimore. They did it. They are working people too. You don't have to be have a job, or be in a union to be part of the working class. They're not marginal people whose life does not matter. And so, some of us, maybe not all of us, but some of us think that it's appropriate and righteous to lift up the example of these youth on International Workers' Day. Right now, I'm going to ask someone else who's prepared to say a few words to come up. And I think what we're going to do, at least for a little while, is have a speak out here. I'm from New York, which makes me an outside agitator. But I remind the mayor and all those in the media who are concerned about outside agitators that Martin Luther King was an outside agitator. So was Malcolm X. And for that matter, so was Jesus Christ. So those of us who are outside agitators, we're members of a very special club, and we're proud to be in it. Long live outside agitators! I understand that where we're standing now, a few years ago, is where Occupy Baltimore was for a couple of months. Is that right? Well, then maybe it's not a bad place to be.
Hello? I just wanted to say hello to brothers and sisters here today. My name's Sharon Black, and I'm with the People's Power Assembly, and I'm a longtime Baltimore resident and community activist here. Okay, go ahead and come this way.
Slide out if you want to slide in. No worries.
We're gonna stay here for a while, and I just want to go through some logistics.
So they're going to do a speak out. It's just a rally. They're combining May Day with Justice for Freddie Gray. May Day is a day for working class people to come and demand higher wages, the ability to form a union. And so they're going to be doing a speak out. I'm just going to kind of work the crowd and see what we've got going on here. And then I'll probably go up so you guys can hear, but it's pretty crowded up there. I think they're protecting the fountain.
It's just a really big loud speaker. Really like loud.
We've got police helicopters. I've seen probably about 2 maybe.
That thing is like, with the narrative, that happens interactive with comics. I mean, I'm just trying to, like, I'm not sure. Like, the day that started, like, her dad was there.
So the crowd's continuing to grow. Let me see real quick. Yeah, I'm gonna move up to the back up to the speakers. Thanks, Joan. I just wanted to get an idea of what we're working with here. Excuse me. Can I get in behind you guys? Sorry. Excuse me. Sorry.
We'll go on our yes.
Do you guys mind if I slide right?
It's just another racist code name for other things that they don't want to say, so they call them thugs, they demonize them. And how can you equate a few broken windows with the life of Freddie Gray, who can't be brought back to life? And I don't want to hear the hypocrisy about CVS, because their insurance will pay for the damages and they're going to rebuild it and they'll be making money, and the only reason they're in the community is not to serve the people, it's to make a buck, and we all know that. So they'll clean up and they'll go about their business and be making money, but it does not equate for 1 second, no matter what rhetoric goes on in the news media, with the lives not only of Freddie Gray and all the other victims of police terror and abuse, but the lives of all the young people in this city who have to face degradation every time they go out in the streets. When we were out canvassing on Greenmount Avenue, we heard tales, myself personally, of 12-year-old children who told me that they were handcuffed and put in a police cruiser and driven around the block just to terrorize them. You're 12 years old. What kind of violence is that? Who's the thug? Who's the real thug in that instance? We heard tales when we were held an assembly, when we were in East Baltimore. There were women who talked about men sexually abusing them, the male police officers, when they would come into that community, and it's very, very real. When I was in city jail, you know, I heard tales of all sorts of horrors, of cops grabbing women in all sorts of places, doing everything they thought they could get away. That kind of degradation is the same kind of degradation that the Palestinian people face in Gaza. Baltimore City is really an open-air prison, is what it is about. There are no jobs, no low-wage, no-job city is what we have in Baltimore City. And anybody who's come here, who we welcome here from around the country, go visit Baltimore, go to East Baltimore, go to West Baltimore, and see the conditions that people have to live in, see the houses that are boarded up. So our message has to be very loud and strong, and we have to keep it there. The amnesty for all the young people. We can't let the young brother who was seen on the news media, whose parents told him to give himself up, who's now sitting and rotting in city jail on $500,000 bail and facing life in prison for supposedly rioting when cops go free every day and nothing is done to them. So the movement of amnesty is also our next step, where we have to take it to. So there's a lot of issues, but one thing people need to be clear is our movement, no matter how long it takes, will not recede. We need justice. We need to get the cops out of the community. They are the occupation army. Which comes to our next command. We have to be very clear. The National Guard has to leave our city. So do the cops from outside. We need to end the curfew. Part of the problem is a lot of people, there were 100 people arrested and just released. They were released after spending several days in jail because all rights have been, suspended under this state of emergency. So people's right to see a court commissioner in 24 hours has been denied. So those are all of our demands, or some of them at least, because I tell you, no matter what, next month, the month after this, the month after this, we're going to be fighting until we can get the cops out of our community. And if we can't get them out, they've got to be disarmed. They've got to be disarmed. We have to form cop watches and community control within our own communities, and we have to patrol our own neighborhoods to bring about justice, because they're not ending the problem of disrespect to elders or the problem of any kinds of crimes between each other. It's only the people that can do that, not the racist police who are simply an occupation army. So we're going to be keeping going. People should see there's leaflets. There's a tribunal movement that's taking place all across the country, an assembly movement. And on June 6th, there's going to be a people's assembly and first session of the tribunal against police terror and structural racism on June 6th, so get the flyers. Let me end with this, because I don't want to go on too long, but I'm kind of wasting time till the other contingents get here and we make a decision. We thought before this announcement that we wanted to show solidarity with the youth that are locked up in city jail. And, you know, we know that people aren't prepared, but we'll vote about it because this is a tactic that we may decide to do at another time. But we could also do it today. And later on, after people gather, we'll put it to a vote. But we felt like, why should we go home after 10 o'clock? Why should maybe some of us stay in this park? Now, maybe we'll do that, maybe we won't, because whatever we do, we're going to do it as a group with as many people as possible. But I realize many people maybe didn't come prepared to do that, and that's okay. But that's one thing to talk about. We may or may not do that. I'm just putting that out there to this group, but it was something that we wanted to seriously discuss. Now, people may not necessarily be in the mood to do that after today's announcement. The other question is whether we march. If we march, we're going to march united. And we'll figure that one out, too. We can march to City Hall, we can march to the jail where people are rotting in jail. But those are all different scenarios. So I want people to bear with us as we keep chanting, as we bring people up to speak, because once we get a large crowd, you know, we'll make some decisions, and they'll be made by the group openly, and we'll vote on them, what have you. We don't debate them, because that's not time to debate right now, but we'll figure it out. So stay tuned. And we'll discuss all these things. But stay in the struggle and be proud that you came out here today in the midst of an emergency decree. Be proud that you came out here to stand with those youth that they have demonized, that they're calling thugs. Be proud that you came out here to stand up against police terror. And be especially proud that no matter what your size, and we're fantastically, large, that we are going to keep this movement going until we win justice in this country. And be proud that Baltimore, those who are from Baltimore, we have sparked a national, in fact, international movement, especially the youth here, not only in the U.S., but we heard from somebody from Mexico City. So stand proud, sisters and brothers. We got to keep this fight going. I want to call up a sister whose fiance was murdered by the police, Joey Wilbin, and she will say some words. Renee Washington. Did you want to come up, sister? Did you want to come up, sister? She wanted to talk about what happened to her son. She showed us pictures of what happened to him.
On Monday night, my son was assaulted and beaten off because of him videotaping an officer beating up another young man. So they threatened him and he ran after him. Well, they jumped on him and they beat him up. They pulled his hair. He got stitches in his face, his knee, and his shoulders bruised. And they They just beat him. He said, "Mine." He said, "I didn't know what was going on because they jumped on him so fast." I get a call at 4:14 a.m. Tuesday morning by the nurse at Ball Secure Hospital to let me know that my son was recovering and he was receiving stitches. I had no idea how terrible it was until I seen him when he was released from jail. And I'm taking pictures of him, and it's horrible. It's the whole top, mainly all of his dreads is pulled out. His right eye is disfigured. He don't even look like himself at all. His left knee is messed up, his right shoulder, and then the cuffs were so tight they cut his wrist. And we need somebody to stick up for us because it's not getting any better. I mean, for my son to go through it, and I know how other mothers feel now. Because it's not fair for none of us. Because in all truthness, all of us are God's children. And He made all of us equal. So when they feel that they are more superior than us, that is sadly, they are sadly mistaken. Because my child means as much to me as theirs to them.
I'm just so happy to see everybody out there. And I'm happy because the reaching around the world. When I found out what happened in Baltimore, I was down south. They was talking about Baltimore. And they was talking about police brutality. In 2000, my fiance, he had his own business. He fixed on cars. One night, he didn't come home. The next day, the police went around his shop because his cars was moved. And so they asked, where is the owner of the shop? And he said, the guy said, he'll be here short. Well, shortly never came. So then they asked him, what is his name? He said, Joey Wilburn. The officer said, Joey Wilburn, he's there. They didn't call the family. They didn't call none of us. And then once we found out that he was dead, we wasn't even able to look at his body. The first time we ever saw his body is when they brought him to the funeral home. Now I want to show you a picture. Right here. It's my fiance. When we finally saw him, this is what he looked like. When we questioned the neighborhood to find out what was happening, the police scared the people in the neighborhood so bad that they were scared to talk. So we did our own investigation. And this is what we came up with. A neighbor, I can't see the shit. And they said it looks like a homeless man breaking in the car. The police didn't go to the house that the guy called. They went around there where he was, and they beat him. And beat him to death until he was dead. Then we found out, instead of taking him to the hospital, they took him to the police station. After they took him to the police station, then they took him to Central Booking. Central Booking would take him because of the condition he was in. Then they decided to take him to the hospital.
Just so you guys know what's going on is more people are joining. There's marches that are coming and converging on this point, so the groups are cheering them on.
Now you will see, after all the things, you will make the difference. But this is
Mine wasn't that good.
one was a rookie. And this is what he put in his police report. One black nigger that we don't have to deal with. When we went to court, the judge said it was a mistake. How it was a mistake when two white cops in Baltimore City put in his police report is one less nigger to deal with? So to me, that's intent to murder. And they still got a job at Baltimore police station. We need to get rid of all the crooked stuff, not just one. It needs to be cleaned out, and they need to be in jail too. So this happened in 2000, and I'm still waiting for justice. His family is still waiting for justice. Even though we went to court, they got fat on their hands. It wasn't saying it wasn't racist because the blue police was white. We never seen the police until we went to court. So imagine our surprise when we seen a chief, a police, who was sitting there training a rookie to put in a police report with one less nigga to deal with. No justice, no peace. What do we want? What do we want? Justice! What do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! What do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! What do we want it? Now! What do we want? Justice! What do we want it? Now!
So another large contingency has joined this one.
Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down!
We're going to get ready to move into the streets.
Right.
Okay, so just...
So it looks like people are being directed to move into the streets.
Black lives matter! Black lives matter! Black lives matter! Black lives matter!
Glenn! Glenn!
Okay, I was like, did she just come up with that?
Okay, so now they're doing the typical, we're bringing ambulances and fire trucks through, and you guys are like preventing people from getting medical care. Because that's a commonly used tactic, and they know that activists won't block ambulances and fire trucks. So it's common. They use that, and then any delay, they'll say that there was, something going on, and, people were interrupting medical services. We saw that a lot in Ferguson. They use it when they want to disrupt a crowd because activists will not get in the way of ambulances or fire trucks.
No peace! Police!
So the police helicopter is telling people to move out of the square, or out of the street and back into the square. There's honestly not enough room for all these people here, but people are saying we're just getting in the street and that's what's going on. So I've got to get with them. Excuse me, guys. Are you guys headed to the street? Okay.
send these killer cops to jail. Whole damn system is guilty as hell. Indict, convict, send the killer cops to jail. System is guilty as hell. Indict, convict, send these killer cops to jail. Whole damn system is guilty as hell. Indict, convict, send these killer cops to jail. Whole damn system is guilty as hell. Indict, convict, send these killer cops to jail. The whole damn system is guilty as hell. Indict, convict, send these killer cops to jail. The whole damn system is guilty as hell. Indict, convict, send these killer cops to jail.
Under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When black communities are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When black people are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When black youth are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
What do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
What do we do? Yeah?
Stand up, fight back.
What do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
When black people are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
What do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
What do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
Black communities are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
Black women are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
Black guys are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
What do we do?
Stand up, fight back.
Hands up! Hands up!
Don't shoot.
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 Hands up!
Don't shoot. Don't shoot.
Hands up!
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 I'll try and work my way to the outside here in case I need to move.
Don't shoot.
Hi, Ma. Hey.
Have you seen Sekou?
Yeah, he was here.
Are they back this way?
I don't know because everybody got kind of pushed around strangely. Hey, how are you, babe? Sorry, I ran into some more Ferguson people. They're here with the artist contingency, so they come and bring like sand trays, banners, art therapy. Sorry. So you can see they set up these like corrals here. It's a pretty large march.
Where's Sky?
the guys in the berets, I think, are Army Rangers. I could be wrong. But I don't think I'm wrong. Anybody that's familiar with military, please let me know. So, can somebody see these military people over here? You can see them right here. I'm gonna get a little closer. So I'm on the side of the march. That way, in case I need to move like up or down, something starts to happen, breaks out, we can run. It's really dense in there. It's a lot of people. So they have formed a riot line in the middle of the street. So essentially, I guess they're directing traffic.
Scenic and a hub. Glorious sight.
Our streets! 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 Our streets!
Thank you. So I was about in the middle of the march, so you can see it's still a very large march. Somebody's saging the crowd. So somebody is saging the crowd, exorcising the demons. I've seen this done quite a few times at protests. It's kind of funny when it starts to happen because it smells like pot, but it does have a distinctly different smell. There's a lot of obstacles here, guys. Sorry. So you have people out on the sidewalks taking pictures. This girl has a good sign. Let me see if I can get her to flip it. Can I see the other side of your sign? There we go. Thank you. There's the gentleman saging the crowd. I was looking for him. at this. Wow, that's some dedication, because I was on one of those right before Ferguson happened. I was off my ankle for about 16 weeks. That's dedication. So Amnesty is still here on the ground. They're up ahead of me. You can see there's a lot of
Are you proud of yourself?
I was trying to give her a high five. She wasn't in the mood.
Are you proud of yourself?
So now you can see the helicopters. We've got 1, 2, 3, flying pretty low over the city. It might get loud. We've actually marched from where we met. This is the police headquarters. Now, if you saw the Don Lemon confrontation, this is where we were at when we were approached by police. And we're continuing on. You can see Amnesty there. They're here to document human rights abuses. One thing I'm glad about is that Amnesty did deploy with Ferguson, and now they deploy more and more throughout the United States. I have a feeling those legal observers were asking why the National Guard doesn't have badges or name patches, and they're documenting. So here's another riot line. There have been tons of riot lines throughout this march. They're barricading entrances to like the highway and things like that. Right before everything got started here, I found out I was on a watch list, whatever that is. So mean, I'm not hard to recognize, right? So, but apparently there's a couple of us that are here on a watch list. That's also what one of the people who got arrested from Ferguson with the man who filmed Freddie Gray's arrest was told when he was arrested. That's what I heard from neighborhood individuals who basically said he was told he was an outside agitator on a watch list. So that's a fun factoid. One thing I'm really glad to see is that people, even with today's announcement about the charges, people still came out en masse, letting the police know that they want the National Guard to go home, that they don't want the curfew, they don't abide by the curfew, and that they're going to continue to stand up. So that's a good thing. There he is. So right now we have 3 helicopters. I think one of them may be news, but the other 2 are definitely police, and maybe 1 military.
All night, all day. All night, all day. All night, all day. I'm not sure where we're marching to.
visit my city. I try and avoid a lot of commentary when I don't know the geography and where we're at and what we're doing. Everything's different. There you are. Yes. One of the best protest photographers around. So she came. A lot of people from Ferguson. I know people don't necessarily always agree with us traveling, but the cool thing about it is we developed and honed a lot of skills in Ferguson. So places that haven't yet had the disruption that we've had don't necessarily have all the resources or the way to make things work. So we come in, streamers. I think Z and I are really still the only streamers here that are active consistently. D-Lo, Delonte Taylor, is actually in New York. He's local and he's awesome. So, you know, like we come, help out, help people build their own capacity and then leave. This isn't our city. We don't want to overshadow anyone. We just want to amplify and tell their story. Show you that Baltimore is showing out. They're coming out. And then when we go home, hopefully somebody will continue in this role. Z and I will teach a streaming workshop. We've offered it. Streaming's kind of one of those things like you accidentally fall into. You can train a lot of people, but not a lot of people are necessarily prepared for it, but it's pretty easy. The hard part is not running like crazy when the shit goes down. I ran the other night, then had to run back into it. It's a lot. So just thank you guys for tuning in, watching Baltimore go through their struggle, see what they achieved today with the announcements, and I'll shut up and let you guys enjoy the march. Jesus. They're everywhere. So I have four birds over my head right now. There's the horses. Let's see if I can get over there. It's kind of hard to cut all the way across a march. Sorry? So you can see they brought the horse brigade out. Just checking to make sure you guys haven't gone anywhere. Okay. So there's a large riot line in front of us blocking off the path to the intersection again. And I'm not sure if we're turning or if people are going up to meet this line. Okay, they're turning.
Baltimore PD, KKK. How many kids did you kill today? Baltimore PD, KKK. How many kids did you kill today? Baltimore PD, KKK. How many kids did you kill today? Baltimore PD, KKK. How many kids did you kill today? Baltimore PD, KKK. How many kids did you kill today?
So I'm just watching these other filmers that are filming the police, especially since they're all I just wanted to make sure somebody was watching you while you were watching him. So we're at the booking and intake center. Here's the Baltimore. This is booking here. Central booking. So I'm assuming we're headed to the detention center, which is right over here on the right. And maybe here too. I mean, it's pretty archaic looking. It's a big facility for sure.
Here it go. Here it go. Right like that. Get it together.
So this is something we saw a lot in New York, is where people just walk the opposite direction of traffic.
Just to further make our point.
Yeah, I think she might have just been telling you to get out of the way. So you can see they're just peacefully resisting, marching against traffic, and in some instances they've held it up. This guy looks absolutely freaked out. You missed it, but he has Steve Buscemi eyes, I promise.
She graduated, she did JVC in 2012. Yeah. Like, her boss, like, your boss is like, thank you so much.
How are you doing? Okay. I'm serious. I'm still amazed. She's just rolling right along and she had no complaints. So, rock on. There's more horse patrols right here. You can see. And then the police blocking the intersection. So they had an idea of what the route was going to be. They probably knew the destination. I don't think it was a secret. So they'll set up and blockade certain things off. And they essentially direct traffic that way. So these are inmates that can hear us going by and they're cheering. So this was a correctional center here. They must have a large complex. It might have just been where cars and stuff go in. And central booking back there. Sorry.
seem the fat American stereotype is not representative in this group. They're all way
And that's what I said as well. Like, why are they walking? It's Americans. They're lazy. They should be on the couch.
Here's a good shot here. I'm gonna walk up on it. There's kids hanging out the windows, waving at the protesters up here. By all means, protect the jail. Like, the jail, the mall. Yeah.
No peace.
So they're hanging out the window saying no justice, no peace. Did you get it?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Hey, Edwin. He's got his headphones in. Oh my God, look how low that helicopter is. That's how they've been flying over by the Gilmore homes. The day after the quote unquote rioting, they were flying that low all day over these people's homes. All day and all night. And they did it for a couple of days. It's let up a little bit now, and I think that's because a lot of media has transcended there. But it was just crazy. It was just utter harassment of this particular neighborhood. Sorry, I'm gonna cut right here.
So you can go fall. Right, so you don't have to go fall. Where we at? If you get lost inside. Yes, keep spreading the peace, girl. Keep spreading it. Spread it all over the police officer. We're all
So you have somebody else smudging here too. So we're walking on an overpass now. I just wanted to get you a shot of that so you guys could see. And some people are saying that we're headed for the highway. I don't know. Shout out to Anonymous. Those are the first 2 Anons I've seen. So it was kind of nice to see them. I see them everywhere else. I'm sure there's more Anons around that just aren't out wearing Guy Fawkes masks before you guys start hounding me in my chat. You can see there's 4 helicopters. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5. close the gaps. Give me a second, guys. I'll put this down so I'm sure. Usually when they're closing the gaps, they're getting ready to make a move.
Stay tight, Cable, stay tight.
up. Nice to see you. Hold on, guys. I'm muting for just a minute. I just met up with some friends. Justice! Now! Justice! Now! Justice! Now! So it was so cold earlier. I have my thermals on. And my hoodie.
I know, now I'm dying.
You're walking the wrong way.
Like super dying.
Interestingly, I can't get on my stream. It won't connect to Twitter now.
Mine's been doing that. Pop it to airplane mode. Keep it. Oh, because that's fixing mine.
Yeah, someone told me that. So you can pop the airplane mode, leave it in airplane mode, and then take it out and try it again.
Yeah. That's the only trick that really works because it resets the static IP. So if they've grabbed it,
right.
But then again, that's why I just give people my password, like certain people that run my shit, because it happens all the time, and you can't fix it from a phone.
Well, it couldn't get much worse. I told you the lug nuts were loose on my car.
All of them.
Like spooky.
You know what that's about.
Exactly.
Are you live again?
Be real careful. Yes, this is Baltimore. We're in Baltimore currently. Whoever's asking.
What is this, north right here? Is this north?
Huh? Yeah, we just caught up.
And I'm
We've been like chasing around.
I smell Marlboro Red. This is just fine. How am I so busy? I didn't even know.
The one I'm wearing is kind of big.
Don't take pictures of me though.
But my shirt is
Well, you can do that. No, it's just because like the trolls like will find the most hideous pictures of me ever. And like screenshot them and superimpose them over like a Sorry, am I in your way? Sorry. Yeah, Mary, thanks for pushing that, for putting the link out. At this point in time, like, I'm out of pocket a lot. That doesn't matter. We just need to get plane tickets home. That's the only thing I haven't bought yet. So anything that anybody can spare, $5, $10, it adds up. Other than that, we've got it covered, and it's been a pleasure to be here in Baltimore. And my bestie came to see me too. I'm so excited. Did you hear Chad's in jail?
Yes. What was the charge? Do you know?
So we're on a watch list.
Oh, wow.
And from what I understand from people that have talked to people in the neighborhood, he was with the guy that filmed Freddie Gray's arrest. So that was part of it. They didn't want to they tried to pull him over like a mile and a half from the protest site and in between where they were going, like the housing project they were going. So the guys were like not stupid. They didn't stop and went to the housing project. So I think that's part of it because Chad was, huh? Unmuting.
All right.
was talking about that the other day. Telling me like that she got trained to get like the number. She was explaining to me what they do. Yeah. Yeah. I think you were telling. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So they like some McDonald's. I'm like taking all my willpower to walk down to the front. Oh my god, I really gotta see where it's really going. Where is that?
Not Sweeney time.
They're out here, as they should be. I just thought that was like the coolest thing ever that they were giving free lunches to kids on Tuesday because school was closed. A lot of places. Yeah. They're just like so Yep, going through cars.
Never seen it.
I'm really close to it. Yeah. Because you can fire them in a heartbeat. They don't have to touch your way. Right, yeah. I mean, I don't think they lose their breath now,
Oh, this is awesome. This is totally awesome.
Okay, we're getting ready to go through cars. Very similar to what they do in New York.
It's okay, Chloe. No justice! No peace!
Sorry, babe.
No justice! Police! No justice! No peace! No racist! Police! No justice! No peace! No racist! Police! No justice! No peace! No racist! Police! Are we tired yet? No! No justice! No peace! No racist! Police! No justice! No peace! No racist! Police! Getting in the middle. No justice! Sorry.
No, you're good. I'm watching you. You're fine. She's still going. This isn't an easy walk.
Shut it down!
Shut it the fuck down!
Shut it down!
Justice!
Shut it down!
No justice! No peace!
Shut it down!
No peace! No justice! No peace! No justice! No peace! Police! No justice! No peace! No racist! Police! No justice! No peace! No racist! Police!
What's that?
That's a police siren. Very, very close.
Oh, okay. Hey, I asked Candy, where the fuck you at, you faggot?
Hey.
Come your ass on. Find me.
Got a cool word. It's a little bit
Oh,
different.
Candy, come out to play, yay!
Police! No peace! Police!
High shot. Yep.
He has to be done with it.
Well, we were all split. So.
are you? Burning up. I'm wearing all my layers. It was cold earlier.
That's what I was doing.
Woo. What are you guys looking for, like where we're going, or?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure it out. There's so many people up there. I don't know what to do.
I know, there's a lot of people.
Live streaming.
Yep.
It's fine. I'm over to you. Because I want to be chanting and stuff.
Yeah.
I know, with that Michael running.
Yeah, we're ready.
That's why it's not right here.
I just need to pee.
So you guys went and started in gift rooms?
Yeah, about 10 doors and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's still people up there.
That's awesome. So we're going to meet them.
Yeah, so that's how I was about to say. We about to get the more people right there.
Alright, I'm down too. Let's do it. Let's go. We gotta go.
Okay. I will if you will.
Thanks for waiting, guys.
hold this for a sec?
Just for the lulls for you. Apparently our GoFundMe account has been suspended with no explanation. We are working to find a site for new donations.
Who?
Thank you. It's the Baltimore City FOP.
That's hilarious.
Look at that.
That's great. I gotta take this layer off or I'm gonna pass out.
It's warm. Are you paused? No.
Sorry.
Guest streaming by Primitive. Even got the protest puppy.
Thank you. I thought I was gonna pass out. I started seeing circles. Circles and stars. Too many layers, not enough bars. Shit. I wore my cold shit earlier. Hold on, guys.
That way.
Oh, you're fine. I was...
Well, no, because of...
No, I got it. I was just putting this up. I don't have it. Believe me.
You guys
so how long did you guys get here?
What time?
You just live around.
Were you at the beginning of the march?
No, just because we left the room late.
I just
did.
Do you go to school around here?
I don't know, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock you guys are?
Now you live in. Now I live.
So you guys weren't at the beginning of the march?
No, not at the very beginning, no. Not much after it started, no.
What do you do? I work for the Girl Scouts. The Girl Scouts making those cookies.
So this is exactly what the police did not want. They did not want any of the solidarity marches going into this area.
Usually it's like there's just not enough people that know. A lot of people
Going, man. I don't hear nothing on the other side of the street.
Dog wants justice. You're right. He does. Run free, Rocky. Run free. Rocky. Here, buddy. Rocky, come here. Run away from me. Rocky. You're my friend. He doesn't have purpose. You're walking it like Rocky. Oh, fucking A.
Just like
Don't eat that.
This is like how they fly all day. Like that low over the project all day. Farther down. They'll get like 50 yards off a roof. crazy. So the white shirts have definitely become PR. They stand out and kind of frolic with the crowd.